Hey guys, Amanda and I are back with Selling Lifestyles in Southwestern Ontario.
Hi, guys. We are back for episode 2. We are so excited.
Very, very
Yeah, number
excited.
2.
I thought last week's episode with Troy and Spencer went really, really well.
Yeah, I did too. It was more than I expected getting it out there. I'm not going to lie. But again, like we've mentioned a couple times, the learning and the growing, it's all exciting. So,
Yes,
um,
and a huge thank you. I know you had to take that on last week yourself, so thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you all of you that watched and listened. I got a few messages, personal messages, just of encouragement and that it went really well. So thank you so much. It means a lot. You put so much out there. I've been doing it for a few years now with like Instagram reels and things like that. You put so much out there and you don't ever know how it's being received. So the feedback is always appreciated and really nice.
Yes, it is. So thank you to everybody that did take the time to either listen or to watch. And I did too. I watched and I thought, hey, there we go, first episode in the books.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. So, today, this week, we are going to give a market update from each of our markets because we do serve different areas and just a few extra questions. So, stick along till the end. And Jill, why don't you start with your market?
Okay, awesome. So, just as a reminder again, I service the Chatham Kent area. So, Amanda and I pull stats. We are very in tune with each of our own markets. We are watching the stats very closely. We don't actually do month to month, Amanda and I. We actually do week to week. So, we are very, very informed as to what is going inside of each of our individual markets. So, inside of Chatham Kent, last week, average sales price for us was 430,000. We had 57 new listings. So those are the properties that came to market, came to realtor.ca last week. So 57. Days on market, so number of days it takes to sell a property, is on average 33 here. And the number of properties that sold last week was 30. So that is Chatham Kent. And then to as Amanda talks about her London market, I want to remind people. So here inside of Chatham Kent, there's a population of just roughly about 105,000, 100,000. So
Yes, because my numbers are really different from that. When I was mentioning it to Jill, her eyes were like, "What? Are you reading that right?" So again, I service Elgin and Middlesex County. So my board is called the London and St. Thomas Real Estate Board. You might hear of people referring to it as L-Star. And that's Elgin and Middlesex counties. So I did pull just because we were talking about our populations. And so I service about 660,000. So it's quite different than Jill. So the numbers are a lot greater. So right now, as of today, on the market in our board, we have just over 2,000 active listings, meaning people are on the market ready to sell their homes. Our average sale price, and that's for the whole board. So in the city of London and then all the small communities around, we are $660,000 for average sale price, roughly. And that's actually down 2.8% from last year. We're still a little bit under last year's prices. So this week alone, we've had 248 new active listings. That's joining that 2000 that I just talked about. And this week so far, we've had 167 listings sell.
oh wow. So
So
those are big differences. Like let's even just touch right now on average sales price, Amanda. So here I am in Chatham Kent, average sales price, and it's fluctuated a little bit from week to week, but on average, it'll be from 460 to right around where it was last week at 430, right in that ballpark, week to week. But you 660, is that what you said?
yeah, about 660. Yeah.
So when we're
Yeah.
we're talking average, Amanda, explain to them what does your average home in London look like?
Well, to be completely honest, that number, when I'm working with my buyers, I really don't even reference that number specifically. It really depends where they are looking to buy. Because if I have a buyer looking in St. Thomas or Strathroy, North London, or East London, those averages are extremely different. Um,
Mm,
so it's not 660. I actually, so for East London, it would be closer to like 590, 600.
okay.
Um, eh, Same with Strathroy, we're a little bit closer to the 600,000 mark. So the numbers are a little bit different depending. North London would be the highest out of everywhere. So when I'm working with my buyers, I'm actually honing in specifically on the neighborhoods that they're looking at. And then I do a lot of rural sales too. So if you're looking at um uh, properties with acreage, then and that would be for you too, Jill, when you're doing the rural properties outside of Chatham, outside of Chatham. You're It's kind of all over the map. You really have to be specific to your neighborhood.
No, you're right. So the highest selling properties for us here in Chatham-Kent would be inside the city of Chatham. And then it does fluctuate between, let's say, here where I'm in Blenheim, and then, you have your waterfront properties over in Erie O. And then if you head to Wallsburg, that's a completely different market. But it fluctuates by, say maybe 10, 15, 20, maybe 25,000 at the most. So
Okay.
average sales price for us isn't, a huge difference, but you always do know homes inside of Chatham are going to sell typically higher than homes in the surrounding smaller areas, except waterfront. That's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah. And what about when you're doing farmland? Because you do a lot of that as well. So is there specific parts of Chatham Kent where it'll be higher, or is it a pretty good basic average per acre?
Oh my gosh, that's such a great question. So farmland always goes off of, and because I'm a farm girl, born, raised farm girl, family farms, it always goes off of. There are many factors which you and I have discussed many of times because you yourself sell farmland as well. It's going to be your soil type. If you've got a beautiful sandy loam rich soil, you're getting some good dollars per acreage. And then if you have a more clay based soil, well, it's going to be a little bit different. And then you have to put into consideration, is that farm tiled? Because that obviously will change your price point per acreage as well. So you got to think about a lot of things.
Yeah, I did actually evaluation just yesterday, and the range in our area, honestly, it was from about 16,000 an acre up to 27,000 an acre.
Yep.
Um, Really had to dive in and look at all the different aspects of each property that was sold. So,
And no, and that's
yeah.
about the same around here too. Now I have heard of some farmland with some really rich, beautiful soil going for as high as 30 around here. So yep.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, so sorry, back to my original question when we're talking, so a 430,000 and or somewhere roughly in there, and then your 660 kind of in there. What an average home looks like would be like a 3 bedroom, one, maybe two bath home, um, not updated to, I don't know if you want to call it current uh, trends or what's the word I want right there? Current.
Yeah, not updated.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, so for me, when I'm looking, so 660 would not buy you what a lot of people would consider a move-in ready home in North London. But you would probably have a bit of an outdated property, but a nice, solid, good detached 3 bedroom with a guitar with a garage uh, in Strathroy. For St. Thomas, for sure, you'd have a nice house, detached house. Um, in North London, for instance, if you wanted something like that, you're getting closer to 750. You might feel like the house is a bit outdated, but still a very good livable home that you wouldn't have to update if you didn't want to. Up to like 800 in North London. Definitely can buy a nice detached home in East London for that price.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you're getting a fairly nice home, not completely updated, but a good solid home for our average sales price.
Yes. Yeah. But I find too, it just depends on your buyer, what to them is outdated, what to them are new trends, if they need to go in and like sometimes there will be a new kitchen. I've had a buyer that have gone in and been like, "Oh, we're going to tear that out." And it's a brand new kitchen. Whereas other buyers, you think they might renovate and they don't. So that's what I love about my job is every person that I'm working with, they are so different in what their needs are, what their wants are, what they like, what their perspective on homes and real estate is. It's really fascinating.
No, it is. It's very subjective. And so I'm very careful not to say too much and really just listen for their cues to tell me how they're feeling about different finds inside the home. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, if you're bringing a buyer through a property, Jill, and you've sealed the deal, they've purchased a property, what are some things you tell them never to do?
Oh, Amanda, what a great question. This it does happen, guys. So, buyers, you work so hard to get your pre approval, to find your perfect property, to get an accepted offer on that perfect property. You then take it to your lender, you get your final stamp of approval on it. We fulfill any conditions like home inspections or any other due diligence that we want done, right? We get all through all of that and then we're waiting for close. What I would tell you, do not ever, 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 don't go out and buy a car. Don't go out and lease a car. Don't go out and buy expensive furniture. Don't rack up your credit card. Don't do any of those things because increasing your debt ratio, it could
Mhm.
cause you not to be able to close on that house. It could cause that approval that you got to not be an approval anymore. So just wait. That is my biggest piece of advice. Once you get that, approval, just wait for any of those extras that you want to do until after you close on that property. What else would you say, Amanda? Anything else? Anything else to add to that?
Did you touch on switching jobs?
Oh, Amanda, so smart. Even after you get your pre approval, even before you find that perfect property, don't go out and switch your job unless you really, really have to. But then just know you're probably going to have to be pre approved again, and that could really affect things. But definitely, definitely, after you have that firm accepted offer, don't go and switch your job. Thank you, Amanda.
Yeah, yeah. Stay in touch with your lender too, and communicate those type of things. Maybe it's a promotion. Maybe it'll benefit. But yeah, touch base with your lender for sure.
No, absolutely. I love that positive spin on that because, yeah, if you get a promotion, that's only going to help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So,
All right. I got a question for you now, Amanda. Okay. So, you're helping some seller clients and you're getting ready to list their home. You've got it all done. Photos are pretty well, they're done. You're uploading. What are you telling your sellers? Give me 5 things. What 5 things would you say to your seller? Don't do these things as we get ready to hit the market, as we get ready to go to realtor.ca.
okay. So again, every seller is different with their home condition, what they're doing with their lives. But some basic things. I am asking them to take all their personal pictures and really personal decor down and put it away. People will want to be able to picture themselves in your home, and they also will just gawk at all your photos and judge them, maybe positively but maybe negatively too. So put it all away. um Also, I would say anything of value to you. So crystals, jewelry, anything that is of value that you would not. Again, we're always going with our clients through your properties. We're there for the open houses. But you just never know, and it would be awful to have something happen. So anything personal that's expensive that you want to keep safe. Often I have some clients that will put it in like a little Rubbermaid and just keep it in their car or take it with them when they're going out for a showing. So that's another one. If you are a smoker, there are some people that are very sensitive to the smell of smoke. So I would recommend not smoking in your home if you do smoke in your home while you are selling your home. And also, don't smoke in your garage because that will carry into the house as well. So that's a big one for anybody that smokes. Two other things. What am I saying? Keep your house clean. People look at that. So if it helps to bring in a cleaner, I can help with that. But making sure that your house is clean for every showing, I know it's a lot of work, but it will be so worth it. People, especially bathrooms and kitchens, light switches, all the high traffic area that people are going to be touching when they're in your home too, opening and closing doors. Make sure that it's nice and clean. And number five, what can you think of a number five, Jill? What am I missing?
Okay, touch back on smell. Talk about, the use.
Yeah, the smells that the things that you're cooking matters. So cooking with a lot of spice, fish, tuna, those kind of things. Don't do it before showings or open houses. Baking is good. Bake and make it unless you're burning it like me. So, but yeah, just people are really sensitive to smells. Smells also, air fresheners. Don't do them. High, like a lot of cleaner, Mr. Clean and bleaches. So many people are ultra sensitive to smells, and it looks like you're hiding something when you're trying to make your home smell that next level clean. Um, don't do it. And for anybody that is sensitive, like I've had clients walk into a house and walk out
Me too.
because they can't handle the smell.
And that's always my first thought. When I walk into a property and all I can smell is that whiff of an air freshener, I'm thinking, what are they trying to hide? So,
Yes.
don't use those things. They're so strong, and a lot of buyers do not like them. So, open windows, that's a really good tip. You can boil up some lemon slices, baking
Love it.
without burning. Those are really good tips too.
Yeah.
Most people seem to be okay with essential oils running in the background. That seems to never bother people, but those plug-in air fresheners or those Febreze,
Mhm.
those are never a good idea. I find.
Yeah, I agree. Even some candles, like just the strong smell. And if you're ever wondering if it's too much, ask us. Let us come and take a peek or something because yeah, you just want it to be really neutral. Neutral in every way.
And I want to touch on, Amanda, what you said about the smoking, about don't smoke in your house, don't smoke in your garage. Actually, when I even open up closets, if people are wearing their coats, I can smell it on their coats. So maybe wash
Yeah.
all of those coats that you're no longer using anymore. Give those a good wash too. But another thing that I actually happened one time is that on a property, when we went to see the property, you couldn't smell smoke. You couldn't smell it. An offer, then we submitted an offer was accepted, did a walkthrough. At one point, it was okay. And then, come final walkthrough, day before close, the house smelled of smoke so bad. My buyers actually didn't want to close on the property because they felt so misled by it. We went to the lawyers. There was going to be a holdback. So that too, as a seller, if you're selling your home, try not to smoke in it after you get an accepted offer either, because you don't want anything to happen right before close because of that.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah. Yeah, the buyer wants to see the home the way that they fell in love with it and the way that it was when they purchased it.
Right.
They want it to be like that when you're closing. So keep that in mind when you're packing your things up, and they're doing their walkthroughs. Make sure that you're presenting it the same way that it was presented um, when it was listed. Obviously, you're going to be in the middle of packing. I don't mean things like that, but definitely with smells and just that you've kept it in the same condition. Really important.
No, absolutely. Well, Amanda, this was very informative. It's always interesting for me to hear your average sales price there in London compared to our average sales price here in Chatham-Kent. We're only an hour away, and then if we were to jump, so it's funny because you're London, I'm Chatham-Kent, and then if you went to Windsor, it's funny. It's like you have a higher average sales price, and it goes up as you kind of go up, more east, more north. And then we're
Yeah.
here in Chatham-Kent, this little hub, and then you go down to Windsor, and they have a higher average sales price too. We're kind of this funny little spot here in Chatham-Kent, which it's great. We're obviously a smaller community with not as much as London has to offer, so that makes sense as to why too.
Yeah, yeah, it really does. So, and then you see that too, like, London, east of London, so the Dorchester, Belmont area, high sales. I would say even higher. I'd have to look it up right now, but higher than what London average sales is. And then as we head more west, it starts to decline. So yeah, you do see that within our board.
Yeah, so
But
interesting. So, so interesting. Well, Amanda, this is
okay.
super fun, and I really enjoyed this one too. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you as well. And so, for all of you that are watching, if you have any ideas, if you are a small local business and would love to be featured on our channel, we are looking for small businesses to highlight. So, if that's something that you might be interested in, we would love for you to reach out to us. Like, subscribe, share, all the things.
All those
Yeah.
things. So, thank you guys. And thank you for watching or listening. And thank you for helping to grow our channel. And if you guys have any ideas where, hey, we want these girls to talk about this subject or that subject to do with real estate, please let us know. We are open to discuss anything.
Yeah, absolutely. So, signing off for now.
We'll see
We'll
you
see you
next
next week.
time. Yeah. Bye, guys.
Bye.